What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Business Breakthrough. So in today's episode, I have Aaron Barbour of Barbour Painting in California, and really awesome business owner. He's crushing it, 1.4 million in sales. Really just looking for some insight on his next step of what he needs to do to get out of the sales. So a lot of the times we're talking about how to get out of the brush, or get off the tools. But this gentleman here is looking to get out of the sales, and he's really interested in having his project manager take over sales. So that's going to be cool. Let's look into what we discuss on this business breakthrough, which starts right now.
Contractors all over the world are wanting more time, more freedom, more impact. The way we do this is through implementing systems, processes, standards. Welcome to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Here we hit business strategy, coaching, mindset, motivation, the tools you need for success. So strap in, listen up, and get ready to grow on the Contractor Secrets Podcast.
Cool, man. All right, what's up, everyone? I'm here with my buddy Aaron Barbour of Barbour Painting. Is that it? My man, easy enough. So, dude, welcome here for the Business Breakthrough. Dripjobs user, what do you think so far, brother?
Yeah, like I've been, in communication with you probably too much, but you and Sonny, they've been awesome. But I love it, man. As you know, I was using a different system before, and it just wasn't, made for us, the painter.
Yeah.
And I went through a ton of demos to kind of, make that switch. And honestly, man, the switch happened so fast because it was just so easy. Like I'm already, as of next week, I'll be fully out of Builder Trend and fully into Dripjobs.
See, that's awesome. There's not much setup. It's already done pretty much for you. Just add the people in there and you're ready to rock.
It's set up. My office person was like, wow, you did it all yourself, because last time I had her do everything.
Oh, no.
And she was like, wow, you took care of everything. I was like, yeah, it was actually super easy. So,
it's great, man. Heck yeah. And it's good because you said you did some demos with some other softwares out there, and we stood out to you. So it means a lot, man. Appreciate it. So cool. Thanks for the promo there. Just wanted to just get that out, man. Love that you're loving it. So let's get into your business, man. So tell me a little bit about, what's the really good, man. What's happening in your business is really good. And then let's transition to what's an area that you want to refine or improve, or see if you can get some insight on.
Yeah. I mean, started my business in 2017. Me wheeling the brush, and it was awesome. And honestly, every year we've almost doubled every year.
It's great, man.
So last year obviously was our best year. 1.4 million.
It's great.
Yeah. So, there's always new goals in place. And now we're trying to figure out how to get to that, that 2 million more.
Right.
I guess, now we're at a point, we have 12 painters. I have 2 project managers.
Yeah.
Keeper, office person, and I'm overwhelmed, obviously, like always, right? So I'm doing all my own scheduling still, doing all the sales still, trying not to talk to any clients as the jobs are going on, but I do hop in when I need to.
Sure.
And the next steps are, me being fully out of sales, and hopefully we can get that done by next year. It may be a year or 2 process. Really, I think my biggest problem is figuring out, how to delegate and how to teach people to do what I can do, because, in your mind, no one can do what I do, right? Everyone has that same probably thought process, which is somewhat true, but, you got to be the person to educate someone how to do it your way. And that's where I'm at in life, trying to, explain, how I would do things on a day-to-day basis. And how to get someone to that level.
I think you already did it to the highest degree if you started your business with a brush in your hand, bro. I mean, I think you got to give yourself a little credit there. I mean,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You're looking clean cut on a Friday right now, no paint on you, so that's I look at things like that and simplify them and say, hey, you did it already. It's not, the principles are always going to be the same. With your company, is it employees or is it subcontractors?
All employees, yes. So
love that,
we employ all of our own people.
Cool. How many
And, you know,
crews?
so we do it, we have 2 people on a crew. So typically we have 5 or 6 crews out at a time.
Okay.
Um, I know people do vary on bigger crews versus smaller crews. So we'll typically have 5 or 6 jobs going on at a time.
And you have two project managers managing 5 to 6 jobs?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that, do you feel like that's not enough work for them? Are they painting it all, those project managers, or are they just overseeing? Like, what is their
They,
daily?
they will they will hop in and paint when needed. One of the guys is my first guy I brought along with me.
Okay.
And he'll do like all kinds of specialty work. If we do have people that do carpentry, and if he needs to, he's kind of my carpentry guy too. If my
Yeah,
other guy's busy, he'll hop in and do carpentry.
that's
They'll
good.
hop in and do touch ups. They'll walk the jobs to customers. It's probably, I mean, I brought the other guy along a little faster because I know where I want to get, and to get to where I want,
Sure.
I need 2 project managers. So do I probably need 2 right now? Probably not. But does it make my life a little easier right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think
And
like 4 jobs would probably be good from one project manager. So if you
yeah,
get to 8 jobs, then you're probably optimized, which isn't far away.
right. But
Yeah.
having that guy already in place would be easier than having the 8 crews, right? And
Yeah.
then getting that guy in place.
So yeah, fair enough. No, I'm not, yeah, that's great. So you're saying that the biggest thing for you would probably be like you're ready to kind of graduate from doing the sales.
Yeah, and that's I have been kind of in the lab making my cheat sheets for
Sure.
estimating, because I mean, contractor, you walk in a house and like you said in the podcast, within 5 minutes you know what you're charging somebody.
Yeah, pretty much how much paint you're going to use, how much. But yeah,
Yeah,
when you pass the baton, you're going to have some sort of, structure, of how the pricing works, and typically, you look at some of the bigger companies, they do it by production rate, which to me is extremely confusing. It's very, very in depth. It takes way too long, and it takes away time that you could be spending selling, building a relationship, which I'm a big fan of, like you are. So, with that said, I mean, when it comes to, you got to realize that like you're on a growth trajectory, and then you're also thinking about bringing in somebody in sales, which you doesn't look like you're going to have the ability to just give this salesperson opportunity that he could potentially, not take advantage of, because you guys need a lot of jobs to stay busy. So have you thought about that? Like, I mean, essentially, what is that going to look like? Number one, like, I think you should decide, like, do you want a commission salesperson with experience, or do you want an estimator? And, because you could go both ways, so what does that look like?
yeah. Man, ideally I would want to bring one of my project managers and make him a salesman. I think it's better for someone to at least have painting knowledge when you're going
Yeah,
out
I
to
like
meet
that
with
idea.
people. Because I get tons of feedback when people, like you said, the bigger companies,
Yeah.
and you hire salespeople, but they have no knowledge of painting. And when you have that relationship with the customer, they'll open up and tell you, like, man, this guy was out here and he had no idea what he's talking about. And
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. So I want to make sure that the person I bring in is knowledgeable, has somewhat painting experience.
Yeah.
And not so, I mean, if I did commission, I thought about it, I'd rather do like a salary, and then maybe like profit percentage, because when you just do commission, they'll go out there and sell a ton of jobs, but they're not the right price, and they're just getting their commission. And I've seen that happen many times.
So what I did in my business is that I created kind of like an estimator role on a salary. So for me, it was a project manager, just like you're thinking of. And I pretty much have him go to every estimate, takes all the measurements, all the photos, and then I simply just send the price from the office through
Yeah,
Dripjobs,
I
right?
thought about doing that too. It's a great
You
idea.
know, to be honest with you, the cool part about that is that number one, that project manager doesn't have the pressure of closing on the spot. Okay. Because that's a skill that you're going to have to train. Like, I mean, negotiation and, like if you're going to have someone do that, you want them to be successful at it. And that sometimes might not be a skill set that a project manager really, would like to learn or feel confident in. So, if you go the project manager route, there's definitely a way around you driving to these estimates. And I think you have the ability to be selective. Like for me, if I see that there's you know, because we're doing flooring now. So if I see that somebody wants their whole house painted plus flooring installation, I'm going to that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a nice $15,000 hit sometimes. So I want to be at that one, you know, but for all those like, you know, general ones that come in every single day, you know, I think having somebody out there in the field hitting them, asking the right questions that you want to ask, all the things that you would be doing, and then just relaying all that information. There's nothing stopping you, Aaron, from picking up the phone and doing what you do best, saying, hey, this is, you know, Aaron, I'm the owner of the company, just got all the information from so-and-so, looking at this project. Hey, I just had a few questions, right?
Yeah,
Do you feel like you would be comfortable in that role in the office?
definitely. That's kind of the route I was going. And I did, you know, I did all job costing. You know, I've I've done all the job costing and all the stuff I've been putting off and crunching all the numbers to make it a, you know, an easier transition. Because I did, you know, I bid more off hourly rate as well. So, you know, I
Yeah.
walk into a house, that's, you know, that's 10 days, 160 hours,
Right.
you know, that's typically how I would estimate. So, but I've definitely broken it down and kind of worked my numbers with, you know, square footage pricing and, you know, and trying to get a better idea on that to make it an easier trend, you know.
Yeah.
Easier.
I mean, even if you do that, I mean, square footage pricing needs to have, you know, as much as I like square footage pricing, you have different substrates. It's not perfect.
Oh, it's,
You know,
yeah, it's a good cross reference.
it's a good cross reference. You know, I mean, that's why like you have multipliers and like again, like I try not to overthink it. I think job costing is going to save you as long as you have the discipline to sit down with this project manager and say, hey, look, you told me it was going to be 160 hours on this one. It was 200 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look and see why you told me that. And let's try to get better, you know? So when I look at a project, man, I love that idea. It takes off the pressure of you for having to figure out commissions and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, have you done any virtual estimating? I mean, during COVID, you probably had to do a little bit of that, right?
Uh, Not too much. I do a lot of virtual estimating. I mean, really off of listings. It's more people moving into their houses out here. There's a huge wave of people selling and moving. So, which was kind of nice because they give you the listing. And I would give them a range, like, hey, you know, off these pictures, you're going to be somewhere in between here. And more
Are
times
you
than
closing on the spot when you go into an estimate?
not, no,
So
no,
you're
because
doing it now.
I'm doing so many estimates that I don't have the
You
time
have
to
time.
close on the spot. Yeah.
That's what I thought. You're literally going in, taking pictures, talking, coming home and emailing it, right?
Yep.
That's exactly what your project means. He could start doing that tomorrow.
And that was like one of the biggest things that I loved about Dripjobs, going back to it, was the automated stuff.
Yeah.
Because man, you many times I went through like your blast, where I would go through my estimates for the past 90 days and copy and paste every one of them. Like, hey, following up, or hey, you know, if you want to schedule for July, here's $500 off your exterior.
Right.
And every one by one, as opposed to hitting the button now, and it's like, boop.
Boom.
So, and then,
but if you're doing that many estimates, you're going to scoop up some business naturally. Law of averages, like with that. And I think so you're doing, if you're keeping that, I mean, you're doing quite a bit. You're probably doing 20 estimates a week.
At least, yeah.
At least. And if you're trying to grow, that's going to be 24, 26.
Yeah.
You know, so first of all, let's get this out of the way. How are you getting all these estimates, man? What's the secret, man? Where's your business coming from?
So for me, Yelp has been a ridiculous resource for us. And I know everyone asks in the
You're
chat
out west,
board, you know,
so here Yelp
everyone asks, like, you know, what's the best if I do this and this, and it varies on where you're at. You know, I know Yelp doesn't work everywhere else, but I've paid money elsewhere and nothing has worked like Yelp.
Right.
So I do pay them a lot. I'm in the process of signing on with Pathfinder.
Okay.
Facebook is really non-existent out here, so I'm gonna give it a go and see what that happens, because I know my thought process is like all my eggs are in one basket now. Let's say Yelp just closed one day. I mean, we're still, you Google us, I mean, we have one of the most Well, getting to it is my first year, I pretty much worked for free getting reviews. And
Yeah.
that's how I built my business. Like, kind of like what you said, you have more reviews than anybody. I dang near have more reviews and 5 stars on, Yelp,
Love that.
Google than anybody else. But it was me doing jobs for basically nothing to get 5-star reviews to get to where I'm at.
Smart.
But now it's like, okay, I need more leads. I have everything tied into Yelp, and I'm looking for a different route to get, leads elsewhere because, let's say
Yeah.
Yelp did crumble and then my leads are non-existent really.
You got to
We are getting,
diversify.
yeah, and we are getting a lot of referral work now that we've been in business for a while, or we'll be at a neighbor's house and neighbors will see us painting like, oh my God, you did a great job and you give me a quote. So those are always there, but for me the biggest one is Yelp.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of diversifying, that's always going to be good. I think the biggest transition, man, like you said, I mean, you know what you're aiming for. If you're in the car 80% of your week, which it sounds like you are, right? Driving,
Yep.
you
Driving.
know, like, you're at a good position where, like you said, you're overextended a little bit on that project manager role. You're finding that you're just kind of maybe putting them in places just to keep them busy for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good time to say, hey, let's try this, because,
Yeah.
just to see what it looks like for like a week's worth of estimates. And I think you being as disciplined as you are, from what I know about you so far, is that you're going to call every one of those estimates and just introduce yourself after so-and-so leaves. Hey, how'd they do? Let me tell you what I do. I have Chris, I have a set of questions that he has to have answers for. And typically I revert back to my sales training, which is those 3 questions. And the 3 questions that I have him ask are: number 1, why do you want the job done? And dude, it's the best question to ask because it gives me some insight on what's the motivation behind the job.
But
Right?
funny story, I watched a podcast or a video of you mentioning that, and I was like, man, I do that all the time where I just go in there and just let them know, like, this is what we're gonna do. We're awesome. Look at our reviews. Of course you want to go with me. You can trust me. I hit them with that. Well, why are you painting your house? And the same reason was like, oh, we're getting ready to sell, or it's like, we plan on being here 5 years. I was like, well,
Yeah.
great. In that case, I'm not going to upsell you on all this great stuff because you're going to
Right.
be gone in 5 years. And I closed the deal yesterday just that one question. He was blown away by it. It's like
Yeah.
so small.
It's small, but what it does is it sets the sail for what direction you're going to go in. Like, and that's important, when you say like, why are you painting? Here's what I'm reading right now. Here, I'll even share my screen with you so you can see it. Sorry, podcast people, you're not going to see this, but you see this, Aaron?
Yeah.
Here's him answering my questions. Why are they painting? Just built the house. Don't like the way the colors came out. Second
Yeah.
one, what is the time frame? ASAP. Okay. So when I call this guy, first thing I'm gonna do, Aaron, is say, hey, Angel, congratulations on the new house, man. I'm so sorry you don't like the colors. I'm here to help. Right?
Yeah.
I know you want this done as soon as possible. You want to get that vision together. First things first, man. If we make this work, just so you know, I have an opening coming up within 2 weeks. Does that work for you? So right there, I just used the answers to those 2 questions to literally make myself look like the hero. Had I not asked them, I would have never been able to do that. Right?
Yeah.
Third question: any concerns or things worth noting about the project? It's in Sugar Mill, which is a little farther than what we're used to. He's looking for a written warranty in the paperwork, so he's probably already PO'd about his builder, and he now wants a warranty written in paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why he wants that, simply because of that fact. What's the scope? Walls, trim, doors and floors. How many gallons? So, this questionnaire gives me the information I need. And then look here, man, we got photos of everything, beautiful house, man. It sucks that they want to repaint it because they hate the color. Beautiful house, easy job. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Well, those are the easiest ones.
easiest ones, no soffits, just kind of go in, get it done, So the reason why I'm showing you this is because it's like, I didn't have to drive all that way to get this information. And I've been doing this now for 2 years and we're doing a little over $1 million. So if you ever had any doubt about whether or not that system works with the project manager estimator, I'm telling you it does, as long as you get the right information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm using Trello, actually.
I noticed that. Yeah, I was going to ask you, but I'd seen it.
Yeah, I'll do a little run through with you real quick on Trello. So Trello, one day we'll have something in Dripjobs that does this, but for right now, dude, I love Trello. It's just a great app. So Chris has his estimates here, and he just pops them in here. So these are all the estimates I got to do today. So I got 5 estimates to just rip out real quick, and need to call, completed estimates. So when I'm done, and then do not want. So see why I don't want this one? So yeah. So there's it's a really good tool just to keep all those photos organized for the
that's a great idea there.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a demo with QuickBooks Time because switching from the builder trend, the only thing I'm really missing is my time tracking. So I'm going to go back to what was T-Sheets, now it's QuickBook Time.
Yeah.
But they kind of have a something like that now, so I'm
Yeah.
waiting to see if that's going to work for me or not. If that doesn't work, I was going to go with Company Cam, but I might check Trello out now too for one of those.
Trello's just honestly like Company Cam's next level. We plan to integrate with them actually, but really just like you could use Company Cam.
They said that they can do stuff with Dripjobs already, so there's already kind of a somewhat
somebody
integrated.
figured out how to connect it. We're gonna actually do a real one.
Okay.
Somebody, and my friend Ryan, he's probably listening to this. He figured out a way to get it working. But yeah, we
ahead of the curve.
Head of the curve, man. But we want like a real integration. So, but yeah, like just giving you some insight on that, man. It's like, you do like literally, and if you look at it, like, what are the quality of your appointments right now? Because chances are, if you're just balls to the wall as a business owner, phone going off the hook, office admin has a question, project managers have a question, you're running in the car all day, you're popping in on estimate 1 of 6,
Yeah.
You're running through it. I mean, it's like the quality of those engagements are probably a lot lower than you want them to be right now. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean,
how much time do you spend with each person typically?
20-30 minutes.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, about 20-30 minutes. And then it's off to the next. But yeah, how you described it is pretty depressing.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I mean, I did
you get phone calls all day. You're driving to the next appointment. You're on the phone till you get there. You get out. You're talking to the person. You're on the phone again to the next house.
Yeah.
Then you get home and you're typing all the.
I mean, you're managing 6 jobs, brother. I mean, that's not easy, dude.
Yeah.
I do 3 or 4 at the most, dude. And when I have a 4 going, I'm like stressed out. I'm like, when's this one finishing? What are they doing over here? Like, it's a lot, man. So, just excited to see you make that transition. Is there anything else you wanted to hit on? I know we hit on the sales side. I mean, marketing. Did you want to touch base a little? I know you're getting ready to potentially set up Pathfinder. We could talk a little bit about what that looks like.
Yeah, because I honestly, I have just got a roller coaster. It's like,
yeah,
the first thing I wanted to do is just throw more money at Yelp because I know it works. The Facebook one kind of scares me, but I've seen a lot of good things about it. And I think that it is the future. I mean, everyone's scrolling on Facebook and it's always like being a step ahead. So it's like, I was talking to Eric and I was like, even if, you scroll through Facebook, right, and no one clicks your ad, like people are seeing it. So your name's already getting cemented. So if someone does go to like Google or Yelp, they'll see their name like, man, I seen Barbour Painting somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you'll be, even though you're one on the list already, now you're one step ahead of everything.
I mean, you're going to get out exactly what you put into it, right? Like he's going to set you up with ads that are generic, as he should, like before and after photos. But bro, get on there, turn the camera around, be like, hey, I'm Aaron with Barbour Painting. Just want to tell you a little bit about us, what we do. Send that video to Eric and say, hey, run this one. And it's like, Facebook is about relationships, bro. Yelp is about transactions. You see, like there's a difference in how these 2 platforms work. So for me, when I look at Facebook, I got to first understand that this is a different type of customer. This is not a Yelp customer. Yelp customers have a different level of buyer intent. In other words, when I go to Yelp, chances are I've already committed to the job. In other words, I'm just at this point, I'm ready to see who's going to do it, right?
Yeah.
Facebook, bro, I'm looking at my great niece's, prom pictures, with her friends and family, and boom, Barbour painting pops up next. That's a mindset shift right there. I got to go from like, looking at family photos to wait a minute, my house could probably use a coat of paint. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you got to understand that buyer intent and how you approach customers with a low buyer intent. And I think people get frustrated when they get Facebook leads that don't convert. And my thing is that, well, number one, you should have a nurturing system like Dripjobs to continue to nurture to those people. But number two, you got to understand that people buy emotionally on Facebook, right? So they see a nice before and after picture. They click the button to get a quote, right? They don't really understand sometimes that you got to come and go look at the house. Some people think you can do it, right?
Yeah.
And then when they do that, they start second guessing. Oh my God, that's going to be too expensive. I haven't even gotten my fence fixed, or I haven't even gotten this done yet. And then all those thoughts happen, right? And then after 2 days, they no longer have any interest and I'm guilty of this too with random things that I wanted to
All the
purchase. You
time.
too,
Yeah.
right?
Time.
So,
Yeah.
but if you are deliberate and you are intentional and you understand how delicate that buying process is within the first 24 hours, obviously having an automation in place is going to be key. He's going to connect it with Dripjobs, and Dripjobs is going to send them a text and an email. But the best possible thing that you could ever do is pick up the phone and say, hey, just touching base. My name's Aaron. I'm the owner of the company. I saw that you came through our system here. Just wanted to get an idea of what you liked about the picture that you saw on Facebook. What a passive approach,
Yeah.
Did you like that color scheme? Just so you know, I don't know if you know this, but we do offer free color consultations. Does your house need more of like a repair, or is it more kind of just want to change the color? Oh, well, I just want to change the color. Oh, that's cool. Did you have a color in mind? Right? Wow. Different than a Yelp person like, hey, when would you like me to come out for the estimate? Right? So you're going to get out whatever you put into it, man. The last and the worst thing you could do is go into this agreement with Eric or any marketer with the expectation that people are just going to hire you because they clicked on your ad
Yeah.
on Facebook, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the mind state, but we're gonna see where it goes. It's probably a good spot to get my guys up to date on estimating too.
It's very true. Very true, man. Very true.
Here you go through this these Facebook leads, and before I
learn how to
let you loose on the good ones.
Yeah, learn how to convert those, but I just understand that two totally different sets of leads, but I've had some of my best jobs come from Facebook. And the reason why is because they're not really shopping around for they seen your ad, they seen your company, they got a feel for who you are. They looked at your Facebook page, they saw the picture of your team. They're like, all right, well, if I do it, I want them to do it. It's like, I'm not going to take a risk and go start searching for other companies. Like, I kind of know these guys already. So that's the benefit.
Yeah, and I see it as branding too, right? So
fair enough. Yeah, absolutely.
Like I'll scroll through Facebook and you see these companies, you see them over and over and over. Now I know who they are.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I would never know who they were. So if I did search for that service a year from now and I see that name, it's like, man, I know them from somewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
That's kind of why the Facebook thing seems so appealing to me too. Is you're just it's exposing your whole area.
Yeah, dude, I think you're a success story, man. Just like painting by yourself, working your way up, and it's pretty neat, man. What's some advice you would give to some of those people listening who are in the brush? Dude, you got a $1.4 million company. You were a painter. Tell me, man, let's turn the tables a little bit, man. Tell me some advice.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing you gotta do is build an online presence. So you got to get the reviews. If you don't get the reviews, then
forget it.
That's where you're going to stay at. It takes reviews. It takes the relationship to build to the point to, like I said, I was doing jobs for basically free till I got to where I was at. And now, once your company's established, I mean, you're not as much selling yourself anymore because people are hiring the company now.
Right.
So, you get the reviews. And honestly, man, at first I gave in a lot, customer, can you do this? Oh, I don't like this. I did anything and everything possible to make sure when I left that job, they would tell everybody how awesome you are. If it meant me staying, man, it's going to take me another 6 hours here that I didn't expect. I'll go back tomorrow and get it done and make sure it's right.
Wow.
And then when you're getting ready to hire somebody, hire good people. Easier said than done. But I started off. I hired a guy that I knew, and my first hire, and he's been with me the whole time, and he's one of my project managers now. I pay my guys really, really well. I treat my guys really well. So very low turnover. All of our guys that get on here don't really leave for other companies. And I think that's super important that, the people you have working for you, you want them to be happy at work because you're going to get the better production from them. So, it's a grind, man. It's always a grind. Like you said earlier, you got to put in what you want to get out.
Yeah.
If you're only going 50%, you're not going to, get to the point where you want. So
Yeah.
a lot of hard work, sacrifice goes into it.
It does, man. It does. And with employees, man, I rarely get to, well, I talk to a few, but the employee game is hard, man. There's a certain level of like, you got to look out for these individuals rather than maybe subs where it's like, I don't have any work this week. It's like, dude, they
they're family. It's
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. So, a lot of our guys are family. I have like 2 brother and sister crews. I
Oh,
have
that's cool.
one that's a dad and 2 sons.
Nice.
Yeah. I had a couple, a brother and sister that came from Guatemala. A lot of our guys come from Guatemala. But what hit me one time was like, I'll take them to lunch and do things with them, and a lot of people mistreat people. So like,
Yeah.
they would tell me like, man, the best things that came to America is meeting you. And like, I was just like blown away. It's like, cause I don't think I treat people great because that's how I want to be treated. But,
Sure.
just hearing like, how people took advantage of them or treated them. And, it's the same for anybody, everyone wants to feel wanted. So,
Yeah.
I just like the customers,
kindness.
you gotta treat a customer right,
Yeah. Who would have
you
thought
do what
that?
you
Who would have
gotta
thought
do.
that? Who would have thought that kindness was the biggest strategic advantage in this business?
Yeah, I mean, for me too, when I go to a customer's house, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to tell them exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to let them know that we do have a warranty on everything we do. I will not leave your house until you're satisfied. I do a job walk at the end of the job. And it was me doing it personally. Now I got the project manager doing, but once the job's completed, we'll walk that house with you and take care of any things that you see before leaving.
Yeah.
One thing I started doing a couple of years ago is we'll collect the payment at the very end as well too. I know not everyone does that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people advise not to do that, but for me, it's awesome because a lot of times people have been hurt by contractors.
Right.
So you get in here, you're established, they know your name, and you're like, I'll collect that payment at the very end when you got a great job. And they're like, oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I fully plan to deliver a great job, and I've never been stiffed on a job.
Yeah.
And it just kind of worked out to my advantage because you have people, I've heard horror stories of just, paid these guys up front and never showed back up, gave them 50% down, they did a crap job, so I've used that to my advantage of, just pay me when we complete the job.
Right. Right. Love that, man. That's some good insight, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man, you got a full steam ahead, man. I'm looking at your reviews. Amazing. I pulled you up here. The secret is not too far from the sauce, man. I mean, just look at this guy, look him up, Barbour Painting. Just great great reviews and good insight, man, on some of the things that's working for you. We have a lot of people here that listen to this that are kind of just one-man armies, and trying to figure out that next step. You've hit the 1 million mark. You're on your way. Excited to see, what you come out of with this, man. Do you think you're going to lean toward that estimating system that we discussed, or are you going to try to, do something a little different? What do you think?
Yeah, well, what's funny is just yesterday, I went to my guy, a project manager that I started with, and I talked to him like, what if I gave you an easy route to doing the estimating? I was like, well, you don't even need to follow up with them, that I'll do the following up with. You just go and meet with them and you take your notes, you take your pictures, and I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
So it was already kind of in place that you
Yeah.
just mentioned that. So, I mean, that's
I
kind of
think
the
this
route that
it's
I'm going to
such a
go.
good way to go, and it gives the person who you put in that position another opportunity to like kind of move up, right? Isn't that like the next step?
Bill, that's why I tried telling him, it's like, you want to
Yeah.
move up. Like, this is you're maxed out where you're at. This is your way to the top. You want
Yeah.
to make more money. I mean, and honestly, it's going to be easier than what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's gonna have a lot of knowledge to share with your
Yeah.
customers. He's gonna spend more time there, So I don't know, man. I think it's cool. I think you should let me know how it goes in the next 4 weeks. I'd be interested to see if it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm already showing drip jobs to a couple guys out here that
Oh,
are
thanks,
totally
bro.
unorganized.
Ah,
Yeah. What's funny, well, now a funny story is that, before I switched a year ago, I did come across drip jobs, and
yeah. A
and
year
my
ago.
heart was telling me to go. Yeah, it had to have been like a year ago because I got builder trained almost a year ago. Rough timeline, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I did see it, and like in my mind, I was like, I should go that route. And I don't even know if you were fully out yet or not, or if you were
That's a
still.
good thing. I'll be honest, it was a good thing you didn't. I mean, we just a year ago from this moment, dude. Wow, we've come a long way, bro, in terms of
Yeah.
development
Well,
and stuff. So you came at the right time.
that's what's exciting too, is like there's more to come. And I
Ah,
love how you guys like listen and have input, and like if there's a great idea that you'll try and see where it is,
yeah.
or there's stuff already in the pipeline. So I mean,
Oh,
that's
it's
really
awesome, man. It's kind of like a collective, like with software, man. It's interesting because I have a good team now developing it, so we can actually get some stuff done.
the
So that's what's
Spanish
fun.
work orders.
Yeah, Spanish work orders, right, dude?
Man, that'd be
I didn't even
huge.
thought about that.
That would be huge for me. Like, you have no
Yeah,
idea. You'd be a
yeah,
lifesaver.
that would be. You know what? I wonder if there's I mean, just off the top, I wonder if there's a PDF converter that will convert it to Spanish. You should look that up. I don't know, man. I translate PDF to Spanish right here. You found it right there for right now, at least. If that's here, hold on. I'll pop this up for you. Because I'm like, man, it's such a good idea. Look, if you upload the PDF, it'll translate it to Spanish right here.
Well, there you go, doc translator.
So we're gonna have to get that into Dripjobs, man. I mean, when you said that, I'm like, why haven't I never thought of that? But we do plan on doing something big with the crews, man. Like you said, clocking in and out, being able to manage the job, schedule,
Yeah.
everything.
So a cool feature that I think would, like I told you earlier, take you to the next step, is a cool feature that I had was like these guys would be able to clock into the specific job they're at.
And
So
job costs.
so once that job's done, you'll get a total hours combined
Yeah.
for that job. So you know exactly,
Oh yeah,
how many hours without having to call anybody or having your employees
absolutely.
track their hours.
100%. 100%.
And
Yeah, that's gonna have to happen. That's because I love job costing, man. I love seeing where the numbers are. But yeah, man, lot to come, man. We're just scratching the surface, really. But I appreciate it, man. We'll keep it going, and I know you're active in our Facebook group, so you'll see everything that happens as it comes out.
yeah, yeah. Well, I appreciate, you guys do. I don't know how you do what you do. I mean, you run a company, you have a flooring company, and you do this because you get back to everybody's like so quick too. I'm like, this guy's Superman or
Well, I
something.
mean,
Like, how
for
does he
me,
do all this stuff?
yeah, it's funny, man. For me, my painting company, dude, I got the best guys, man. They usually handle it. I got like you do, project manager, estimator. I have two crews. I'm a little bit different for the painting. I do two crews of four.
Yeah.
I like the bigger jobs. So we pretty much like once they're on a job, they're pretty good. Like I don't really have to like babysit. We don't start a lot of jobs every week, so that kind of helps. And then the flooring, that's my father-in-law and one other employee that I have. So that's like automated, I mean, because he's phenomenal. So, bro, I'm just blessed, man. I got just like you. I got great guys. Every now and again, it gets kind of chaotic. I got to leave. If I got a customer that needs a little TLC, I
Yeah.
have to pop out. But mostly,
Yeah.
I'm able to focus on drip jobs and overseeing the marketing.
Yeah.
And like you said, man, with the reviews for us, I don't do any advertising anymore. I don't really pay for ads. At this stage of my business, we have enough organic traffic that's coming in where, we're in a good position. So, it's pretty low maintenance.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would love to get there because I pay a lot in advertising.
Yeah, no, there's not. I mean, but you got to realize, like for me, like I'm not really looking to really grow because the next level does require me to stop
Yeah,
this.
we,
And then,
we need you. We need your time more on Dripjobs.
yeah, right, dude. If everybody wants the Google Calendar to come out.
Oh,
So.
I even sent them a message like, I'm the new guy, but
Like, hey
please,
man, just please
yeah.
keep me in mind. Yes, you're in, bro. Thanks, bro. Hey, if I can ever be of any more assistance, let me know, man. Please.
Oh, I'm not a
You're on
scared.
your way. You're on your way, man. Thanks for the insight. And I think next time I chat with you, man, I'm excited to see the pivot.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Thanks for your
check out
time.
Trello though. If you want, I could send you a screenshot of how I have mine set up, or maybe I'll do a little webinar or something. I'll show you.
Yeah, I have some experience in it because a painter friend of mine uses that for his company,
Yeah.
so I have.
It's just so easy to upload the photos, stay
Yeah,
organized. It's pretty cool. All right,
I'm gonna
brother.
check it out. Cool,
Have
man.
a good one,
Thanks,
man.
bro.
Great chatting. Yeah, see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to that business breakthrough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition this episode to a testimonial. That's right. So one of our awesome Dripjobs users was kind enough to do a short testimonial for us. I asked him some questions that I'm sure a lot of us have about what Dripjobs is it valuable? So if you would like to sit and listen to this, I'd appreciate it. You can sit, hang around, and hear what one of our very happy clients has to say about Dripjobs for his business. What's up, everyone? I'm here with Justina and Jordan of the Busy Bees. They've been so gracious to share a few minutes of their day to tell you guys how awesome Dripjobs is for their business. And I just kind of want to start off with, what were some of the things when we first started out that you were a little bit concerned about with adopting a new software? Because that's a big hurdle for a lot of companies.
For me, for a long time, for many years, it was just me and one other person, but I wanted to scale the business and grow it. And I knew I needed something that was more complex, where we could keep everything in certain areas, like just communication wise. So as a problem solver, I started thinking, looking out there, different programs, and I had tried a couple and that didn't work. And then I had followed you with, certain things that you've done over the years. And then somehow I ran across Dripjobs, and then I realized it was you, and I was like, what are the odds of that? So
that's so funny.
It was specifically tailored to a painting business, which obviously is what we are. And the other programs didn't specifically tailor to what I needed. So that was ultimately, it was like a done deal. And
how's it working for you? I mean, how's it working for you? I mean, a lot of people are skeptical about automation, when it comes to automation. Do you feel like it's saving you guys a lot of time?
It is, for sure. The automation helps, definitely. I like that we can tailor it, specifically to what we need to say. If we need to edit things, we're allowed, to do that, to go in there to make it easier. Because some businesses are different, and with that accommodation, we can just tailor it to our customers, and it's working. The biggest thing I feel like that's helped us is that appointment booking link. So as a business owner, again, like trying to problem solve, trying to save money, time. We've just been making sure to send that booking link out every time we contact a customer, even if it's
customers adopting well to that.
Oh yeah. They love it, because a lot of people this day and age don't have time to call, maybe don't want to call. And it might, I think that it's helping us get more jobs. And ultimately it just shows the customer that we mean business. We're like, here's the calendar. And I like the fact though, for that, the booking link on Dripjobs, because they get to tell us what their availability is. So there's, and we can plug that in based on our schedule. Whereas other calendar booking apps, like I didn't feel like it worked as well for my personal business and my
It's funny. People never know when they can do an estimate when they call you. They have to be like, all right, well, hold on, let me look at my calendar. It's like, did you not expect me to ask you? So, so it's funny that, you send them the link. Jordan, let me ask you, I mean, how's it been for you, kind of just being able for Justine to pass the ball to you, having the software as your central spot to jump in? You guys are huge on notes, right? So you're the reason you put the notes. Justina, wait, first, let me put these two are like my sidekicks, because they're like my eyes. And every day or every other day, I get a message like, change this, tweak this. And I love it. I don't take it personal. I really do.
Little thing going
and then I'm like, hey, surprise.
Exactly.
Like, hey, surprise, we put this here for you guys. Tell me what you think. So you're the reason we put the notes section in the deal command center where you guys can easily see that. And so what do you guys think about that? Is that instead of like that other step, you guys like that?
It's so much more streamlined doing it that way, because we can, instead of having to click to the note section to read the notes, it's right there. It's like, okay, scroll. right there.
Right.
And we can easily go to what we need to go to next.
We can also,
Yeah.
right, correct me if I'm wrong, we can copy and paste emails or any other.
Yes, very true.
And then the attachments, if there's text
Soon we'll
messages, we can
integrate
plug
your
all that in.
emails.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah, no,
love
it's
that.
been a
I love
godsend.
that.
Like, I'm on the field a lot. I'm a go girl. So Jordan and Kimberly as well, obviously. I throw things to them. So if I run across something in Drip, I'm like, that's not right. I'm like, send it over to Tan, but
Like
Jordan
if
and
I try to
Kimberly-
figure it out before.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we gotta do this. I'm like, but we shouldn't have to go through like 1,000 steps. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me message Tanner and his team, see what they say.
It's a
If there's
lot.
an
Yeah.
easier way to do it that we're just not catching on to.
Our mission statement, we want to be an extension of your business. And I think like that's our focus. We're not perfect, but
Right,
what business
absolutely.
is,
We can
Yeah.
tell you're really trying though, and I appreciate, the intercom
Yeah.
because you guys, even on off hours, are getting back to us, and you don't have to do that,
Right.
and we
Yeah.
just ultimately, we're problem solvers. That's at the end of the day. There's going to be things that come up that we have zero control
Yeah.
over. There's going to be glitches.
Yeah.
Just like our business, there's going to be bumps in the road, programming wise, there's probably more.
Yes.
But we're being able to work
bumps,
with us,
bugs.
it's been awesome. And I,
Bumps
I
and
just love
bugs.
to, I love to see how things are progressing, with the
Yeah.
program itself, and we're utilizing everything that we can. So,
You like the new
you know.
proposal look, Justina? Did you see
yeah, I
that?
do. Yep. Very
Yeah?
cool.
Did
Yeah.
you
I
see
was
that
like,
your
oh, look,
review
new
link and
button.
new button? You got a new button.
Yeah,
You got
yup.
your review links populating in there.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys sell the jobs on the spot, or do you like to email the quote when
If I can sell it on the spot, I do. Like yesterday, I had somebody
Yeah,
that
you
went in
signed
and
the
signed,
Band-Aid.
and they
Okay.
gave me checks. So I was
Deposit.
like,
It was great.
Nice. Did you
He was
so
like,
you
"Do
did
this."
you
I'm
have
like,
them
"Got it."
sign on like the iPad? Like
Yep,
how did that
sure
work?
did.
Did they sign?
They loved
They
it.
signed on the
They were like-
iPad.
They were
Nice.
blown away by all the technology.
Like,
I'm like,
don't
I know.
worry, I normally
Yes.
sign it a lot neater.
Yep, exactly. I'm like, it's
That's
okay.
so
Mine
funny.
looks
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been
That's
great.
cool.
I'm really excited for
Yeah.
the future. I think given, where I was in my business, it was a good step to take on at that time because it was our downtime.
Yeah.
Winter, you're a little
So we were
slower.
learning.
So we learned a lot of it while we had the time, and I'm grateful
Yeah.
for that.
And now
because
you're
it's-
just full speed.
yeah,
you guys are-
exactly.
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of customers, so we need drips to help
Yes.
I
us.
know. How many customers do you guys think you'll serve this year?
Ooh.
I don't know. The projection based on numbers is, it's going to be great. I mean, I'm really excited. It took 20 years to get to this point, but it's all about
Amazing.
teamwork, problem solving,
Yeah.
and just making sure you try to have a good attitude while you're doing it.
I love that. I
Having a
love
team.
that. So I
Yeah,
can't thank
team,
you guys
team.
enough. Keep it coming, the teamwork, the camaraderie. You
absolutely.
guys are awesome.
Hopefully next
well,
time we
thanks
touch
again.
base, we can give you some more tips.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know they're coming. They're coming.
I
And,
appreciate it.
oh, by the way, we're fixing that word in there. That originally thing, that thing is stuck out to me.
Yes.
Was that you guys with the hand signed signature? So little things like that, matter.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
study this software so much. It's almost like when you guys paint a house, right? And I
Yeah.
paint too, so I know both sides. But when you guys paint a house, you're in that house all day, and then the customer will be like, "Hey, you
I
forgot
know,
something."
it's
You're
so
like,
true.
how did I not see that?
Yeah, so
You
great.
know? Yeah.
I totally get that
So-
because I'm a painter too, so it
So-
makes total sense.
Yeah. Like, yeah, all right, we're packing up, but what about that? I'm
Okay.
like, how did I walk by that, 8 times
Yeah.
and not see it?
Yeah.
Keep
Once
it
you
coming.
stare at
Thank you
something for too long, you don't always see it. So you take a step back and you come back and you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's funny, and that's been there for a while, so it's good. So thank you guys, of course.
You're
I
welcome. Thanks,
appreciate you. Get back to
Tanner.
doing what you guys rock at. We'll see you soon, and
Sounds good.
maybe we'll do this again sometime.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Take
We're up
care.
for it.
Bye,
All right,
Tanner.
thank you.